Hey, here we go again with this bullshit. Hey, what's going on, y'all? You're tuned to the Texas Tailgate Talk Show. I'm your host, Big Sarge. Make sure you follow me on the app formerly known as Twitter at the Big Sarge Sports with a Z at the end. Make sure you follow me on the Tik and the Talk. What's up, TikTok family? At Big Sarge Media. Big Sarge Media. Make sure you're subscribed to the Texas Tailgate Talk podcast and YouTube channel, all one word, Texans Tailgate Talk. Make sure you follow me on Instagram at Big Sarge Sports with a Z at the end. Because you know we do everything for the gram. And make sure you're reading all my articles at theroundtable.io/NFL Texans and BigSargeMedia.com. I got a new feature coming out on Aziz Al-Shaair on Thursday. Thursday. What's going on, y'all? What's up, chat? How y'all doing out there? Give a big Sarge salute to my Twitter family, a big Sarge salute to my YouTube family, a big Sarge salute to my TikTok family. Okay. We got to start this thing. Give me a second. I'm gone off that Celsius. So the Houston Texans do not have practice today. They will start practicing again on Thursday, preparing for their Week 2 matchup against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers on Monday night. It's the first time the Houston Texans are opening their season on Monday Night Football at home. And so this is a, big thing for them. But on Tuesday, we had an opportunity to speak with Houston Texans head coach DeMeco Ryans. We also had an open locker room, right? And so, y'all, I'm honestly and truly trying to keep my composure, because the one thing that bothers me and makes my ass itch is stupidity. Not only just stupidity, but idiocracy. Just dumb shit. Yeah, I know. Hey, YouTube, y'all ain't monetized me. Y'all not gonna monetize this one, And so I get it. I understand, because Sarge has used profanity right off the rip. And guess what? Let me tell y'all something. The season has started. And I told y'all, if there was one thing that I was going to do, is Big Sarge has changed. And I do have respect for everybody. I'm cordial with everybody. I'm not friendly with everybody, but this is me. So I'm going to be me. Me is the only person I know how to be. So with that being said, right? With that being said, I thought it was crazy for Houston Texans head coach DeMeco Ryans to have to answer any questions about leadership, about, this is my favorite. I told y'all I'm trying to keep my composure. Get it together, Sarge. All right. So if you're looking to go viral, if you're looking to go for clicks, for likes, for retweets, for shares, whatever you're looking for, then you tend to go to the side of, hey, let me just start to say some shit. Hey, let me just start to misconstrue what was said. There's no possible way that you think that the Houston Texans have a leadership issue when it comes to head coach DeMeco Ryans or quarterback CJ Stroud. That's why the title of this show is Here We Go Again with This Crap. It's been week one game, and you're questioning CJ Stroud's leadership. You're questioning Houston Texans head coach DeMeco Ryans' leadership. And I keep repeating Houston Texans head coach DeMeco Ryans because he is the head coach. Does that mean he's going to be perfect? Hell no. There's not one perfect coach that has ever coached any sport, from pee-wee football, from pee-wee sports to middle school sports to high school sports to college sports to intramural sports to professional sports. There's never been one coach that has been perfect. No matter how many championships, no matter how many Super Bowls Bill Belichick has won, he still is not a perfect coach. Phil Jackson isn't a perfect coach. Pat Riley wasn't a perfect coach. Steve Kerr isn't a perfect coach. There's no such thing as a perfect coach. So, of course, there's going to be mistakes made. You all heard me say on the Texans Happy Hour on Monday that I thought that DeMeco Ryans panicked by rearranging the offensive line after Ed Ingram got hurt. I said that. I said I think he panicked in the divisional round against the Kansas City Chiefs last season by putting Shaq Mason, who had been out for almost a month. You put him back, insert him into the lineup. I think that you panicked. I also said that, hey, I think that DeMeco Ryans has loyalty to veterans more than he does young players. Even though he wants young players to be ready to play, I think that he has a lot of loyalty to veterans that plays on his team. So I get that. I get that. I understand. I got that part. I've said he's not a perfect coach. But when some of y'all fix y'all lips to ask him about leadership qualities, I'm saying to myself, are you dumb? Are you stupid? And like sometimes when I be hearing this stuff, I be saying there's no possible way. Like, am I in the same room? Am I in the same room as some of these questions that are being being asked? And don't get me wrong. Hey, look, I understand that there's probably some media members who think the same way about me. I can't believe Sarge just asked that question. Hey, I don't care. Don't matter to me. But when I hear it, and then when I read it online, and then when I see these guys go off on their little tangents about leadership qualities, especially the ones who never had their asses down at NRG Stadium, who don't have that, who don't be around the players or don't be around the coaches to ask these questions. Or if you feel this way, use your credential and come down and ask. If you think that there's leadership, that CJ Stroud is lacking leadership qualities, he speaks once a week to the media. Come sit your ass down there, or send a representative down there and have them ask your question, or you come ask you look him in the eyes and you ask him the question. Anything that I want to know, I look them directly in their eyes when I ask them the question. No matter what answer they give me, I'm going to look and ask the question. I was under the, hey, listen, I'm going to be honest with you. I was under the impression that the continuity was off against the Rams because of the last minute offensive line shuffle. You know what I did? Hey, coach, ask him the question about continuity. Hey, CJ, ask him the question about continuity. No matter what the answer is, I sat my ass in that chair in Inglewood, California at SoFi Stadium and asked the question. And every week that I'm at NRG Stadium, and I'm sitting in that media workroom. When they come in for the press conference, if I have a question, I'm going to ask the question. Last season, when I thought that they weren't allowing CJ Stroud to audible in the offense, when I thought that Bobby Slowick was hindering CJ Stroud, you know what I did? Hey, Bobby. I don't normally call coaches by their name, so I probably didn't call him Bobby. I probably said, hey, coach, does CJ have the ability to audible? What do you mean by that, Sarge? Well, don't seem like he has enough time to be able to get to the line and audible, or doesn't have the capability inside your offense to audible. So I ask these questions. When I'm in a locker room, hey, let me ask you a question. Sometimes on the record, sometimes off the record, but I ask the question so I can gain the general knowledge. So when I come back and I do speak with you all, I can go ahead and make sure that we're here. So with that being said, with that whole rant, with me going on that diatribe, this lollygagging narrative is by far the dumbest shit I have ever heard in my life. Like, I've heard some real stupid shit in my life, but this lollygag one is dumb. Yes, pray for me. Hey, Reverend Brooks ain't in here yet, right? Reverend Brooks ain't in here yet. Whoo, hey, but when Reverend Brooks come into the chat, y'all tell him to pray for me because Sarge been using a lot of profanity. Hand over heart, I'm doing my best. I'm trying to stop using profanity, but sometimes it's hard for me. This lollygagging narrative. All right, thank Tay. Tay says, watch your profanity. Tay in the chat says, watch your profanity. All right, I'm going to watch my profanity. Thank you, Tay. Let me get back to being the professional asshole that I know I can be. God damn it. That's two, Tay. I don't know what I'm supposed to do now. But this is one of them ones. And this is going on the podcast. This is one of them ones. Because I'm so tired of... It seems like every time I turn around, it's, hey, man, CJ ain't this, CJ ain't that, CJ didn't do this, CJ didn't do that. Oh, my God. And now you all are running with this lollygag narrative. You all are running with this lollygag narrative that CJ said, yeah, there was lollygagging in practice, and, you know, is CJ Stroud really a leader? And I'm saying to myself, you're talking about the young man that came in and has won back-to-back AFC South championships, won 2 wildcard playoff games, who has gotten to the divisional round in the first 2 years of his NFL career. That's what you're talking about? You're talking about a guy who has ended his season over the last 2 years in the divisional round of the playoffs under some adversity. Let's not forget that the last 2 divisional games that the Houston Texans have played, they went in injury-riddled. CJ was out there basically playing with 1 wide receiver against the Baltimore Ravens in 2023 and against the Kansas City Chiefs in 2024. Name me the last time CJ has actually been able to get on the field with a full complement of players, and what did he do? Questioning his leadership and trying to move the goalposts on this lollygag narrative is the dumbest shit I have heard in a very, very, very long time. And the problem is some of y'all didn't listen to what he said. You listen to respond instead of listening to understand. And you all have access. Let me tell you something. Hey, let me tell you all something, because this is how some of the aggregators get themselves by and make you think that they're really in the building when they're really not in the building. Some of these aggregators have access to what we media members have. After every press conference, right? After every press conference, that's during the week, that's after the games, the Houston Texans, what you see on YouTube when they go and they stream the press conferences from YouTube, we get a copy of that. It's called the FTP. We get the FTP. And when we get the FTP, that is nothing but the video of the press conference, right? That is a courtesy that the Houston Texans are doing to us. Now, I don't know if they do that around other I don't know who, or if they do that around other NFL franchises. I don't know how they get their stuff. All I know is that the Houston Texans will send us the FTP, meaning that is the video from the press conference. And that's for some of the people who don't travel or who can't make it to a game, right? So they also stream it on YouTube, which means that everybody has access to go back and watch it. So if you got access to the FTP, or if you got a YouTube account and you go back and you listen to what CJ Stroud said, there's no possible way that you can keep asking the same damn dumb question about lollygagging. And let me tell you something about me. I told y'all, I'm cordial. I'm not always friendly. There is a difference. I can speak to you and keep it moving. We don't need to have no conversations. And so and the reason why I keep saying that I'm cordial and not friendly, because if you get offended by what I'm saying right now, if you get offended by what I'm saying on my platform and you come say something to me about it and I respond in a certain way, not physical violence or anything like that, but if I respond in a certain way, don't get your feelings hurt, because we're not friendly. We're just cordial. I want some of you all to realize that. I am a grown man, regardless of how much I, laugh, joke, play around, whatever the case may be. I got grandkids. You know what I talked to my one of my granddaughters about the other day for probably about 20 minutes. We talked about Kraft Blue Box macaroni and cheese. We talked about Fruity Pebbles. And I'm talking about to my 7-year-old. We talked about Fruity Pebbles. We talked about spaghetti. We talked about cake. And then we started talking about what she wants to be for Halloween. And so I got grandkids. So they keep me young, but hey, look, I laugh, joke, play, blah, 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 keep it, but don't get it twisted. Don't come at me sideways. That's just a warning for those of you all who are going to watch this and get offended. Hey, keep it to yourself. Keep it to yourself. Keep it moving. Go on your platform and say Sarge is full of shit, or I don't like Sarge, or do what y'all do when y'all be in y'all little groups together anyway, talking bad about me when, one, I've never done nothing to you, and two, I don't give a damn. I prefaced all that to say this, people. Woo! I've gotten all that profanity out of the way. Let's get it going. So people have access to hear exactly what CJ Stroud said on Sunday. But for those of you all who didn't, don't worry. Sarge got you covered. You know what? Now I gotta stop cussing. Hey, Miss Jordan, I'm not gonna use profanity anymore. She said, "Don't ever let anyone steal your joy." Amen. I'm sorry, Miss Jordan, but sometimes saying, I think that some of these guys are wrong in what they're saying about CJ Stroud and his leadership. Sometimes they just don't get it done, Miss Jordan. I'm sorry. They just don't get it done. Sometimes, a good, well-placed, sometimes a good, well-placed, explicit word works just fine. But now that I know that you're in here, I'm going to not use profanity as much. Y'all, some of y'all don't understand how much respect I got for Miss Jordan. And one day I'll tell you all, but today ain't that day. So for those of you all who missed what CJ Stroud said, guess what Sarge did? Took the liberty of chopping it up so you all can hear exactly what he said. Okay, so now we have some technical difficulty. Let's go. Why are we taking so long? Don't worry about it. I got it. I'm going to add it right back. I don't know why that file is messing up, but here we go.
Yeah, I take just negative plays. I think it's kind of obvious. We can't shoot ourselves in the foot consistently and expect to win. And that starts with me, with a lot of different things. I got to get rid of the ball better. And
Did you hear what he said? He says, it starts with me. It starts with me. He ain't say nothing about nobody else. He says, it starts with me. How can you question his leadership skills when he's telling you it starts with me? Dumbness number one. I ain't cussing, Miss Jordan.
use my legs maybe a little more. But yeah, I think, there's a lot of hope still. We did a lot of good things. It's a really good defense, it's a really good team. But I definitely think we could have won. But just you can shoulda, woulda, coulda all day. We didn't deserve to win that game because we didn't do the right things.
We didn't deserve to win that game because we didn't do the right things. You hear what he's saying? He's saying we. He's not saying my teammates, them, they. He's not saying they. He's saying we, not they, we. Dumbness number two. You're still questioning his leadership, and you just heard him say I and we, which includes himself, but you steady want to ask about his leadership qualities.
So when you come out in NFL lollygagging and
Miss Jordan, close your ears. Close your ears. Did you hear what he just said? Did you hear what he just said, right? That's why the stupidity of some of you all who are pushing this narrative, talking about he's saying that they were lollygagging in practice. He did not say lollygagging in practice. He said when you come out lollygagging, in the NFL, meaning when you come out in the game and you're not doing what you're supposed to do, you're not going 100%. You can't do that in the NFL. He said nothing about lollygagging in practice. Listen to what he says. I'm going to rewind it. Here we go.
we didn't do the right things. So when you come out in NFL lollygagging and not going through the motions, that kind of happens. So I think we'll be all right. But I think it's a good wake up call for us.
These people had 2 days, 2.5 days to push this dumbass narrative about the lollygagging, right? That's why Coach Ryan said on what did I say? Monday, on Tuesday. That's why Coach Ryan said on Tuesday, lollygagging, I guess since that's the new term that we're using now. He was being facetious, he was being sarcastic, but he heard, he's seen how everybody tried to take this one word and tried to run with it. Let me tell you all this once again. Those who can't create content creates confusion. That's a big Sargism. Those who can't create content creates confusion. So it's easier to create the damn confusion than it is to create the content, the actual content. That's why I don't care. I can do 5 shows in a row of 2 to 3 hours plus, and you're going to get different things for 5 different shows because I can create content based off of what's going on. And it be informative, knowledgeable, and entertaining. And I can tell you the truth. I can tell you what's going on without having to be a troll, without having to push for clicks, likes, and retweets. Let me tell you all something. I told you all this on numerous occasions. I don't get paid by the like. I don't get paid by the retweet. I don't get paid by the reshare. I don't get paid by none of that shiznick. None of it. So the stuff that I put out is genuine. The stuff that I put out comes from me. The stuff that I put out, I stand on it. 10 toes down on business. You're right. CJ did say something about they didn't have a great week in practice, though. That's where they meant the lollygagging word. Yes, King Kobe, they did. And that's why this video isn't finished. Here we go.
You mentioned that you feel like it was a wake-up call. Why do you feel like today's outing was kind of a wake-up call for you guys?
I just think the way we practiced this week, I think we could have practiced better. I think I love the confidence we have, but there's I don't know. I always say there's like a type of mindset is like, did I do enough? And I think that's a healthy way to be, because then you'll probably do more. So I just, for me, preparing, I got to do a better job.
For me, preparing, I have to do a better job. But we're still questioning his leadership. But do you hear what he's saying? For me, I have to do a better job. He didn't say, hey, man, my offensive line that was getting me killed throughout training camp, that an offensive line rotation that was getting me killed during training camp started the game in week 1. He didn't say that. He said, meaning he knows he didn't play his best, meaning he knows that he could have done more. He knows that he has to go back and review the film to see where he messed up at. And we also have to remember that this is his second offensive scheme in 3 years. This is his second offensive coordinator. This is the first time he's been able to implement this offense in real time. He's been under the same offensive scheme for 2 years. And so if for those of you all who think that this was going to be an easy process for him to just move from the Slowick offense to the Caley offense, it's going to take time. I told you all this in the offseason. I told you all, hey, it's going to take some time for him to get acclimated to this brand new offense that he has. And then he comes in and he's behind this offensive line rotation. He's without 2 slot receivers. And this is no excuse, because CJ doesn't make excuses. I don't know how many times you all have heard CJ Stroud talk. Like, what I'm saying is he'd probably tell me, hey, Sarge, I hear what you're saying. I understand what you're saying, but I ain't going to make those type of excuses. I got it. Even though it's reality, even though it's the reality of the situation, he's not going to make excuses. That's why he keeps saying I and we. Let me finish.
And I also got to hold my guys accountable, for that one exotic. And it's the first game of the
I also have to hold my guys accountable. Now, let's stop right there. Some of you all have screamed out how much you respect quarterbacks who hold their teammates accountable. I just watched a video clip of former Miami Dolphins offensive lineman Richie Incognito talking about how Minnesota Vikings quarterback J.J. McCarthy was calling out his offensive lineman and how much he respected that as a former offensive lineman by saying, hey, I appreciate these guys who hold me accountable. How many times did you see Tom Brady talking to his players on the sidelines, and at the end of the game would come back and say, yeah, I did it, but I also know that I have to play better, right? So when you look at quarterbacks like Tom Brady, who holds his players accountable, when you look at Aaron Rodgers, no matter how you feel about him personally, he holds his teammates accountable because he holds himself accountable. Patrick Mahomes holds his teammates accountable. Josh Allen holds them accountable. What are we talking about here? Joe Burrow holds his players accountable. Side note, we're going to have a conversation about Joe Burrow Because if y'all are killing CJ for the way that he played against the Rams in week 1, and y'all ain't seen what happened to Joe Burrow against the Cleveland Browns in week 1, especially in that second half, y'all gonna have to go back and take a look at that. I digress. You want these other quarterbacks to hold their players accountable, right? You find that leadership skill and quality in holding these players accountable while holding themselves accountable, and you're still questioning CJ Stroud's leadership. You're still questioning his leadership. Oh, Sarge, you're just caping. You're just caping for the Texans because you have a credential and you have the access, and you know that you don't want to go back to NRG and have to hear blase this and blase that. Okay, so if you think that, right? If you believe that, then tell me where I'm wrong. Tell me where I'm wrong. I am open to hearing everybody's opinion. And I'm going to tell you exactly what I tell everybody else. Hey, I respect your opinion. I just disagree with it because it's your opinion or it's my opinion. It's not our opinion. If we don't see eye to eye on our opinions, it is okay to disagree. That's the one thing that I can never understand when it comes to sports, politics, and different things like that. If you're if you are in an opinion-based conversation, or some of you all call it a debate, you can't tell anybody that they're wrong for their opinion. It's their opinion. When you start bringing in facts, that's something totally different. But you can't tell somebody that their opinion is wrong. It's theirs, not yours, not ours. It's theirs. That's why I always say, hey, I respect your opinion. I just disagree with it. So with that being said, I'm giving you the facts. But if you don't like my opinion, let's talk about it.
Yeah, we got a lot of exotic looks we did not expect. They did too, but they made the play. So you can come up with a million excuses. We got to just be better.
How many times I got to prove this? How many times do I have to keep showing you that this guy is a natural leader? And from everything that I've heard from, let me tell you something. 2023. Shout out to Jonathan M. Alexander from the Houston Chronicle, who wrote an amazing article about CJ Stroud's high school. CJ growing up in Rancho Cucamonga, and he went back and talked to his Pop Warner football coach and talked to his head coach during high school. I had an opportunity to speak, and then once I find that video, I'll dig in my duffel bag and I'll pull it out and I'll reshare it. I had an opportunity to speak with CJ Stroud's high school coach, and what he told me, and this was in 2023, CJ had brought him and his family out to a home game, and I had an opportunity to speak with him, and he said the one thing that I loved about CJ Stroud, the one thing that I loved about CJ when I first met him is he had a quality about him that made the players want to follow him. He had a quality about him that as soon as he stepped on the field, those players said, all right, we know who's who. Let's get it. Let's go. Sound familiar? Because if I'm not mistaken, when DeMeco Ryans first came into the league, when he was a rookie with the Houston Texans, do y'all remember what his nickname was? Don't worry about it. Look that up. Google that. It's free. Safari, Firefox, DuckDuckGo, whatever browser you use to look up your stuff, your information on. But his high school coach told me that. I've spoken with some of CJ Stroud's former college teammates. I speak with all the time a guy that played with him at Ohio State and Cade Stover. Ooh, Reverend Brooks, I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you're here because now I'm glad you wasn't here before because I was doing a lot of cussing. Pray for me though. I always ask you to pray for me. But they'll tell you how much of a leader he was in college. And it's the teammates he has now tells you how much of a leader he is right now. So what are we talking about with this leadership stuff? Well, what are we talking about? CJ Stroud isn't a leader.
Wish I got a dub here.
When you kind of felt like the urgency wasn't there, or wasn't at the level you needed it to be at least as an offense, what did you just kind of do to try to get that jump started to get the urgency more there from the offense?
Yeah, for me, I think in those type of moments, there's things vocally that need to be said. But I think for me, I think execution breeds energy. So like when you're not executing, who is going to be smiling and running around having energy? You got to execute. So I think that's the point. Is like the execution goes up, the energy goes up. And even in times, because it's NFL, they get paid too. We're not going to always be on the other side of good. We got to have a certain type of tenacity and grit to push past the negativity and push past the negative plays. And I think we'll do a better job at that.
So once again, what are we talking about here? What is the discussion that we're having? There's a young man, and I'm not going to say his name because I actually like him. I think that he's very funny. He's very, very knowledgeable. He is knowledgeable, and he knows how to use stats to his advantage because I tell him all the time, hey, bro, stats can be skewed to whatever you want them to be. When I'm watching my news shows that I be watching, when I'm trying to keep up with what's going on in the world and they bring up these polls, I just start laughing because you could bring up a poll for that for your benefit that will be used to push whatever narrative and agenda you're trying to push. So when they bring up these polls, we poll blah 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 this many people, and stats can be skewed, right? I tell people that all the time because, like in the NBA, right? When people say, "Oh man, we gotta use championships to determine greatness," well, Robert Ory has 7. Is he considered a great? How many does James Jones have? Is that his name? James Jones, who got rings with LeBron. You probably don't even remember who that is. So if we're using championships to equate to greatness, then I can bring out a number and use that. So, but there's a guy, right? He covers the Packers. He covers the Packers. I used to work with him. He was a colleague of mine when I was on that former show that I was on. And every time he wants to push his numbers, as far as the likes, the clicks, and the retweets, every time he wants to push his numbers, he says something bad about. He said he uses a comparison between Jordan Love and CJ Stroud, and then he starts to talk about CJ Stroud. And I say every time I see CJ Stroud name pop up on his feed, I say your numbers must be low because now you want to engage with Texans fans so you can pick your numbers up. Every time he wants to pick his numbers up, he criticizes or finds some way to criticize CJ Stroud. Sound familiar? Does it sound familiar? All I'm saying is that young man is not above criticism. He will tell you that. He will tell you, I'm not above criticism. Hey, I make mistakes too. He does. When he makes the mistakes, call him out. Matter of fact, I don't know how you all I don't remember if you all remember me saying this. I've said it before and I'll say it again. I criticized CJ after after his performance, his second half performance in the Lions game. And his mama called me out. His mama called me out. Know what CJ said when I told him about it? Hey man, that's just my mama being my mama, bro. She gonna protect me. She don't see me as CJ Stroud, the quarterback of the Houston Texans. She see me as CJ Stroud, her son, her baby boy. He said, but Sarge, you got a job to do. He told me this after the Dallas Cowboys game in the locker room. He said, Sarge, you got a job to do. He said, and I appreciate the job you do. I appreciate the fact that he said, because what you said was right. I should have played better in that second half. I did not. He said, so I appreciate you saying that, Sarge. I appreciate you saying, being honest in your reporting. We talked about it. I left. I went over to go talk to Derek Stingley Jr. and Jalen Petrie. And in the midst of me over there talking to them, my name was called by CJ saying, Sarge, come here, come here, come here. So I left from talking to them, went back over to CJ, and we had another conversation about him saying, hey, man, I just want to say again and reiterate, I just want to reiterate the fact that you're doing what you're supposed to do. I come on here and I told you all, when I am doing this job, I am not a fan of no team. When I'm doing this job, I don't have a team, because being professional requires me not to be biased. I have to be unbiased in my job. So I got to report on what I see. And so it benefits me no way, no how, just caping for the Houston Texans all the time. I'm coming on here and I'm gonna tell you, hey, look, they didn't look good. On Sunday, when I went back and I watched, because I go back and I watch, look, just because I don't put out all the clips like everybody else does, doesn't mean that I'm not watching. I went back and I watched, and CJ left some plays on the field. He did. He left some plays on the field. He said that, hey, I got to play better. And so notice, though, the trend of some of these confusion creators. I ain't calling them content creators. I'm calling them confusion creators who come out here and they want to put this narrative up of CJ is doing this and CJ is doing CJ is not a leader, and CJ said they be lollygagging in practice, and that's not what CJ said. Hold on, y'all give me a second. I gotta find something. Let me go to my page. I'm gonna share this because I put it out yesterday, but my Twitter has been tripping. Where is it? I know I put it out. Didn't I put it out? I did not put it out. But you know what, y'all? Hold on. I think what I do have, though, is the video. Give me 1 second, please. Drum roll, please. Doo-doo-doo-doo. Oh. I think this is it, y'all. Hold on for a second.
You mentioned that he thought that there was lollygagging, not a great week of practice. You mentioned Aziz as a guy that knows what you want. So during the week, is that something you can recognize that can change? Who are you looking at offensively to say, hey, this needs to stop like right now, versus come Sunday, like, oh, it just wasn't a good week? Like, how do you stop having a bad week?
Yeah, it's never an entire group. That's the one thing about it. So there are individuals that have their moments throughout the week, and the lollygagging, it's a term everybody want to use now. It's for me, it's just our tempo, right, in and out of the huddle, right? We got to get in and out of the huddle quicker so we can get to the line of scrimmage, so we can operate and make sure we got checks and things we have to make at the line of scrimmage. Well, to make those checks in the proper manner, right, we got to get out with some urgency. So the urgency piece from everybody has to pick up. from the offensive side of the ball, right? The urgency picks up, and we'll be able to operate cleaner when it comes to pre-snap and post-snap.
So that's the same thing what CJ said, right? Same thing what CJ said. Hey, we got to be better. We got to be better. Not just me. We've got to be better. But this is what I'm about to play next to finish off this video from Coach Ryans. This is the one thing that I love, and this is the one thing that further proves my point that this man is a leader. Stop pushing that bullshit about CJ not being a leader and DeMeco Ryans not being a leader, because they are both leaders. Hold on for a second. Let me take this back just a little bit. Listen to this next question. Listen to this next answer, not the question. Listen to the answer.
To pre-snap and post-snap.
So who are you looking at to say, like,
You're
to
looking
pick
at
that
him.
speed
You're
up?
looking at him. I handle everything. Comes back to me. It's not about me. Oh, I need to talk to a player about doing this or that. We'll get it. We'll get it fixed. It's on me.
Me. Coach Ryans. Me. I'm the head coach of this team. Me. Everything comes back to me. I'm taking accountability for whatever. I'm not even on the field, but whatever goes on the field, me. Penalties, me. Bad plays, me. Notice how they'll never question his leadership when the team is doing great. Notice how they'll never question CJ's leadership when the team is doing great. Notice that. But as soon as something happens, now we're questioning. This is about as this shit is dumber than when they said CJ was injured because he wasn't throwing in OTAs in minicamp. Dang it, I cussed again. Sorry. I don't get it. I don't understand. It is by far one of the dumbest narratives that is being pushed after 1 week. It has been 1 week of NFL football. One. There has been one regular season game. They're 0-1. Hold on, though. It gets better. Listen to what Coach Ryans had to say when I asked him about when I asked him, give me a second. Listen to what Coach Ryans had to say when I asked him about the reaction of, the fans after 1 week. Give me 1 second, you all. Here we go. Let me play this. Start this over right here. Okay. Game. How much do you emphasize, hey guys, it's only week 1. We still have a whole lot of football left. How do you tell them, hey, it's just one game, let's move past this and get on and move on to Tampa Bay?
Yeah, Sarge, thank you, man. That's the nature of our business, right? Man, you lose, fire everybody, trade every player, right? You win, going to the Super Bowl. Like, then the next week, everything, I get it. Like, that's the nature of our business. It's exciting because you have so many different outlets, so many different people have an opinion. So many people love football. So I love the passion. I love the energy that comes with this.
I love the passion. I love the energy that comes with this. So he's saying he gets it. Hey, I understand. Just like he said, you lose, fire everybody. You win, we're going to the Super Bowl. It's been just 1 week, but he says he loves the passion. Hold on, he ain't done.
Right? It's fun, man. We really enjoy this, and we understand the seriousness of it as well, right? But to that point, the realistic point is one game. It's week 1. The building isn't burning down. It's week 1. We go back and we fix what we need to fix, come out and do the things that we can control. That's the main emphasis for this week. How can we just control the controllables and press forward? And now we have a chance to truly compete. Now let's see what happens. Yeah.
What are we doing here? What are we doing here, people? Once again, I get it. Your platforms, your social media pages, your articles, it's whatever, they're yours. Hey, do with it as you will. I just think that it's stupid to me, or I think that it's dumb to me, especially after 1 week. After week one, you think that Baltimore Ravens fans are questioning? And I know some. Let me take that back. You know what? I almost made the dumbest mistake ever. Let me take that back. Let me reel that back in, because every fan base has fanatics and trolls. I watched the Baltimore Ravens lose that game to the Buffalo Bills. Does that mean that they're not going to make the playoffs? Does that mean that they're not Super Bowl contenders? Does that mean that um does that mean that team is horrible, and now you're questioning the leadership skills of Lamar Jackson and Harbaugh, Coach Harbaugh? I watched the Cincinnati Bengals, and I mentioned it earlier. I mentioned Joe Burrow earlier, right? And the way that he played in the second half, which was terrible. Y'all think that the Bengals are not a serious team anymore? Y'all think because they barely won that game? I think Joe Burrow had 7 yards passing in the second half. No, I think he may have had 3. Got it right here. In the second half, Joe Burrow passed for 25 yards. Hold on. In the fourth quarter, he passed for 9 yards. 9 yards. They had -9 rushing yards in the fourth quarter. In the third quarter, they had 9 rushing yards. Joe Burrow threw for 25 yards in the second half. Y'all think that everyone is questioning his leadership skills, or you think that everyone is questioning what he can do or what they will be by the end of the season after week one? Y'all have to stop with these instant reactions. Y'all have to stop with trying to get these, to try to get these viral moments, trying to get not only get these viral moments, but to get these hot takes off, hoping that a bigger outlet will see something that you said and pick it up. Use your genuine and your honest takes. I know. Don't get me wrong. I get it. Negativity sells. And I'm sorry, y'all. I'm not a negative person. I can't. If I was pushing negativity, I'd probably be on ESPN or on Fox Sports. But if you don't want me for being genuine, then I'm good on where I'm at. I'm not. I can't just. Words have power, right? I don't know what y'all. I don't know. I don't know if you believe that or not, but words have power. I don't want to just use useless words that I don't believe in, because that's stupid. I don't want to just say something just to say it. Then I'm saying to myself, why would you do that? That's dumb. Why are you just saying stuff to say stuff? Because a lot of times people will say stuff, and then when you push the conversation further to have a genuine conversation with them about what they said, 9 times out of 10, once we do the song and dance, we get right back to me looking at them stupid and them realizing, I may have said something dumb. Not using words just to be useless. I believe in the things that I say. I believe in the takes that I make, and all my takes aren't always good. They're not. Hell, I think I got called on a take. Freezing cold takes put something out about something that I said. Who was it about? Anthony Richardson. Something I said about Anthony Richardson. At the time, that's what I believed. And if it's wrong, it's wrong. Cool. I'm cool with that. Hell, I was the president of the Kiki Kuti fan club. I was. I thought Kiki Kuti was going to be great in this league, and he wasn't. I stand on that now. I stand on that take now like I did when I first said it. And if it's wrong, it's wrong. But damn it, I've had more right takes than I've had wrong takes. I'm just saying. TikTok family, I enjoyed you. Y'all know how I do. I got some exclusive stuff for y'all coming. So y'all just hold on for a second. Appreciate it. Ooh, I earned 1 penny on that live. So now, because this is the Texas Tailgate Talk Show, and it will be in podcast form, let me say this. You've been tuned into the Texas Tailgate Talk Show. I'm your host, Big Sarge. Make sure you follow me on the app formerly known as Twitter at Big Sarge Sports with the Z at the end. Follow me on the Tick and the Talk at Big Sarge Media. Make sure you subscribe to the Texas Tailgate Talk podcast, all one word, Texans Tailgate Talk. Make sure you follow me on Instagram at Big Sarge Sports with the Z at the end, because you know we do everything for the gram. And make sure you're reading all my articles at www.bigsargemedia.com. Big Sarge, I'm out. Okay. Now that I've timestamped that one, give me a second, family. What's going down? What's up? Y'all know how I do it. Y'all know that y'all know that I gotta go back and I gotta read some of these comments. It's a lot too, but I don't care. I love it. I love the fact that you all talk amongst each other in the chat. Let me see what we got here. I'm going back. What's up, Chris Allen? Speak your mind, bro. I think with the Ravens living in Baltimore, there's always a question about coaching here. But ultimately, the fully known Lamar Henry are elite caliber players. Senior Bubbly. What's up, Larry and Stafford? Alexis, front runner, what's going on? King Kobe, what's good? Darius, hello. Rich boy. Rich boy selling that. Just bought a Cadillac. Just bought a Cadillac. What's going on, Rich boy? Dizzy. King Kobe says, real fans knew this offense wasn't going to take off the first game. If Dare didn't lose the ball at the end, we'll be singing a new tune. Hey, I got a chance to speak with a defensive player, Texas defensive player on yesterday, and he told me, Sarge, you know, if we score, the defense is shutting it down for the rest of the game. We win, and we come on back with that win. May not be pretty, but we'd have got that win. If we would have scored on that drive, ain't no way the defense is giving up a game-winning drive at all, period. I believe that, too. What's up? Is it Jerry? Jerry Nunez? What's going on? Welcome to the show. The Rams are nice. Wouldn't be surprised if they make the bowl. Khalil, 6'9". Don't need perfect, just need progress. Exactly. Dizzy, listen, you try to explain that to some other people and they don't want to listen. Now they think you're doing is caping for the Texans and that you are trying to push a narrative of positivity. No, just go back and look at the game. one of the things that I wrote about in my article was, at the end of the day, Houston Texans defense only gave up 14 points. For as bad as it looked with the way that Matthew Stafford was eating up the Texans zone, and I don't understand why they went 81% zone against injured Matt Stafford. But no matter how bad it looked with Puka Nacua getting 130 yards receiving, no matter how bad it looked, they only gave up 14 points. And 9 times out of 10, you give up 14 points, you win the game. They gave up 7 points in the first half, 7 points in the second half. You get one touchdown. You get one touchdown from the offense in the second half, and you win. Alexis says, this is why I've been so confused with people losing their minds after Sunday. Exactly. No, Tay. No, Tay, I ain't got no issues with Landry. I don't have any. So let me put that out there. I don't have any issues with Landry at all, period. I don't. I don't. And, you know, what Landry and I don't have a problem with Cody Stoops or Landry Locker. Like, I don't have. Let me say this right now, and I'm going to leave this up here for just a second. Hey, I honestly and genuinely do not have a problem with anybody on the beat. I got to make sure that I specify that. On the actual beat, season credential media members, I ain't got no issues with none of them. So whatever Landry does, whatever Cody does, individually and collectively, whatever they have going on over there on their platform is what they have. They have a following. They have a following, and they have people who love their content. I ain't got nothing against that. Just like I have people who follow me and who support me and listen to my content. Everybody has their own group. So, but personally, I don't have anything against Landry. I don't have anything against Cody. Our opinions don't always line up. Our narratives don't always line up. But nah, I ain't got no issues with them. I see them all the time. And for what I know, I don't think that they have any issues with me. I mean, if so, they've never expressed it. So, but with that being said, nah. There's some other people. It's some other people that I don't want to say I don't have an issue with them. I just don't understand what they're trying to do. I mean, I do, but I don't. Like, okay, I understand what they're trying to do. It just doesn't make any sense to me. King Kobe says some of the other Texans content creators that create the panic, if you ask me. Yes. Alexis says, facts. They make Texans football less fun for me. Blocking and muting left and right lately. And that's my thing too. Like, what happened to the art form of sports talk, sports debate? Like, what happened to that? Like, there's too many people that bring their personal feelings into talking about sports. And I get it. If you're a Texans fan, I know that fan is short for fanatic. And some of you all don't just use the root word, just fan. You are a Texans fanatic. But in my mind, there's no possible way that you think that you're supposed to win every game. That has only happened one time in the NFL, and that was the 1972 Miami Dolphins. That has been the only undefeated team. The New England Patriots went 18-1. And that one was what? They lost when it counted. They lost in the Super Bowl. There hasn't been. Take it over to basketball. The Golden State Warriors went 73-9. setting the record that had been set by the Chicago Bulls, who had went 72-10. The Golden State Warriors went 73-9, and they lost the championship. They lost. They lost. They lost in the finals. They lost a 3-1 lead to the Cleveland Cavaliers. They lost a 3-1 lead to the Cleveland Cavaliers after going 73-9 in the regular season. The New England Patriots went 18-0 throughout the regular season and the playoffs, and they lost the championship. They lost in the Super Bowl, to the New York Giants. You're not going to win every game. You don't have to. Do your research. As a matter of fact, I think that the Giants won a Super Bowl when they were from the wild card position. I think the Green Bay Packers won a Super Bowl from the wild card position as well. Like, there's been teams that have won from the wild card position, meaning that they barely kind of made it into the playoffs. And then, when they got into the playoffs, they hit a run. It's like when you look at some of the teams in the NCAA tournament, they may have struggled to get into the tournament, but by the time they get in the tournament, they turn it on, they take off. So just because your team lost one game in week one doesn't mean that they can't turn it around. We've seen it happen too many times. What was that, 2014? When the Green Bay Packers started out 1-2, what was those five letters that Aaron Rodgers uttered in his press conference? RELAX. I only know that because I put that in my article from yesterday. I'm going to share that with you all too. Relax. Relax. It's one game. One. If in going into the bye week after the first five weeks, they're 0-5, we're definitely going to have a conversation. If they're 1-4, we're going to have a conversation. But they're 0-1, just like a lot of other teams are 0-1. Look, there are two teams that are 0-1 right now that are still Super Bowl favorites. The Kansas City Chiefs are 0-1. The Baltimore Ravens are 0-1. Do you think that they think that their season is completely done? And I'm not saying, and I don't know what the Texans' end results are going to be, but all I'm telling you is it's only week one. Why are you all acting this way? Ashley Knuckles, what's going on? And Tay says, watch your profanity. No, Tay, listen, hold on now. It ain't right that you always get to use the choice of words that you want to use, and I don't. So here's Adrian. Says, what's going on, Adrian? Welcome to the show. I agree with you, Sarge, but I think CJ started this narrative on his own. How? If you're still here, Adrian, tell me how. I need to know how you think that CJ started this narrative. He just used a word that said you can't. He used another words for saying, hey, you can't come out. Okay. Let me ask you this, Adrian, and I'm just asking. Matter of fact, let me ask the rest of the chat. So if CJ said you can't come out with a slow start in the NFL, you can't come out starting slow in an NFL game and expect to win, you think that the narrative would have still been the same, or they wouldn't have picked up on that? The word lollygagging is what everybody. Matter of fact, I don't even think that a lot of people who are pushing the narrative about lollygagging even knows what lollygagging means. So if he'd have said, hey, you can't have a slow start in any NFL game and expect to win, I don't even think we're talking about this. But the word that's being used, and I get it. Let me tell y'all something. Like I said, I create content. I can take that lollygagging word and spin it to a way where it makes it look like the Texans didn't practice at all throughout training camp, through preseason, and all they did was show up to the facility to watch TikToks. I could spin that. But then if I spent it, then it wouldn't be genuine. And it wouldn't be within the context of what CJ said. That's the part I don't like. You're not using what he said in context. And that's what's got this whole narrative out of bounds now. 119 dozen, what's going on? Says CJ, DeMeco Ryans, CJ Stroud, ride or die. Time is, I gotta get to King Kobe said to me, CJ identifying people lollygagging in practice shows a form of leadership to me, especially if he called him out on. And that's the thing, though, King Kobe. He didn't say that they were lollygagging in practice. He said that they were lollygagging that they came out lollygagging, himself included. They don't want to talk about that, Ashley Knuckles. They don't want to talk about that because it doesn't fit their narrative. I had to tell one of the radio guys who does an outstanding job of he. So I had to tell. I responded to a post that Lance Zerline from ESPN Radio 97.5 said. And as he was talking about the offensive line, and I responded, and don't get me, listen, I like Lance. I think Lance is by far one of the smartest guys I've ever met when it comes to this NFL stuff. His draft knowledge, his player knowledge is on point. And if I'm not mistaken, I think I think his dad was a coach, so he's been around football for his entire life. But I had to tell him, I think that what he was saying was wrong, because, and I said this, and I put this in my article, that lineup of Cam Robinson, Laken Tomlinson, Jake Andrews, Titus Howard, and Ariante Ursery, and that's with Ursery at the right tackle, Cam Robinson at the left tackle, was getting CJ destroyed in practice. Y'all remember how many times I'm saying defense won again, defense won again, defense won again. Well, the offense made a couple of plays in the second half of practice, but by far the defense was winning. That was that lineup. That starting lineup for Sunday's game against the Rams was the offensive line unit that had CJ running for his life or looking for ways to make plays all the way until Cam Robinson got hurt in the first practice at Greenbrier. He got hurt through practice, and they had to take him out of practice. And you remember after that, he sat out for like 2 weeks, two and a half weeks. When they made that shift and they put Ariante at the left side, the left tackle, and put Titus at the right tackle, put Ed Ingram at right guard, things started to change. I reported on that. If you go back and you look at my time when I was in Greenbrier in West Virginia, I told you, hey, this is the first time I've seen CJ look really, really good in practice. But he's having the protection. He's having the protection and time in order to execute plays. And that takes me back to why I said that I feel like the Texans panicked, because instead of just putting Juice Scruggs there, and I get it, listen, I don't know why they don't have faith in Juice Scruggs. He may not be up to what they believe, but if you believe in Cole Popovich, then you know that Cole Popovich should have him ready. Cole Popovich has had him as long as he's been here, so he should be ready. But you also got to give him an opportunity and a chance instead of just panicking and shuffling the whole line and putting people in places that they ain't used to playing. You can't, yes, Ariante Ursery is a swing tackle. He's had one NFL, he played in one NFL game. And you didn't even give him time to develop his habits on the right side of the line to get himself acclimated to playing at the NFL speed. Playing right tackle in college and playing right tackle in the NFL is two totally different things. And at least if you keep him at his natural side on the left side, he can use some of the things that he has used in the past from the time he started at left tackle to help him get through. You're comfortable, right? You're comfortable until it's time to take that next step. When kids learn how to ride a bike, you don't just put them on a bike and just tell them to go. What do? You got to give them training wheels. The training wheels teaches them how to keep their balance while they're pedaling. It teaches them how to shift their weight to be able to stay upright and to move where they need to move. And when it's time to turn, you teach, right? Because turning, you still got the training wheels. And once you take the training wheels off, you're so used to riding the bike with the training wheels. Once they take the training wheels off, you're just naturally riding a bike. You can't just throw Ariante Ursery out there and say, hey man, ride this 10, here go a 10 speed. I ain't even talking about like a Huffy or a Mongoose. Y'all too young to remember those. I'm not even talking about a regular bike. I'm talking about like one of them Tour de France bikes. Hey, here you go. Hop on this, go win the race. Go win the Tour de France. I know, Dizzy. I stopped. I calmed down. Let me see. Tay said CJ ain't had an average offensive line since his rookie season, nor has he had a running back one in addition to wide receiver one and wide receiver two all at the same time on a consistent basis. Exactly. They call that sentence enhancer, Sarge. They work so well when folks ain't actually listening. Thank you, Miss Jordan. CJ is covered, and no matter what people say or feel about him, he's covered, and every tongue that rises up against him in judgment will be condemned. Hey, amen. Larry, what's going on? This is why I don't let people move me from what I always have been. Me. There's one thing Larry don't do. Larry don't change. Larry gonna be Larry no matter what. No matter what. Oh man. Appreciate that, River Rat. River Rat says, I love your videos. Appreciate that. Everyone saw his leadership as a player and in San Francisco, but we have been a heavily penalized team since Miko has been head coach. But that's discipline. Leadership and discipline are different. Plus, it's only week one. And Roto, I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Roto, let me say this. So DeMeco said something. You know what? Let me see if I got that. I pull it up. DeMeco said something about the penalties on Tuesday. And he said, if we're teaching the players to keep their hands in a certain place, right? Let's just say we're talking about holding. I think he's talking about holding. He said, we're teaching our players how to keep their hands. We're teaching them how to keep their hands in a certain place. And then they move their hands in the place where they're not supposed to be, and they get called a penalty. He was like, I understand, about that, but by the same token, what I'm supposed to do if they're not, they have to also apply what's being taught. And let me tell you this about DeMeco Ryans. He's not gonna play the penalty game for too long if you keep it. He understands that people are going to get penalties. There are certain players are going to, not certain players, there are players that are going to get penalties. Players are going to get them throughout the game, right? But if you keep getting them, you're going to find yourself holding your helmet on the sideline. That's all I'm going to say. All right. A year 3 quarterback, 1 OC, and new wide receivers, no running back one, no offensive line, plus it's week 1. Let's give it time. Everyone knows that weeks 1 through 4 are weird and wild weeks of the NFL. And then you know what's so crazy about that? I was having a conversation with a former player. And I said, do you think that these players do you think that week 1 is like their preseason game? I said because in the preseason, a lot of times these players only play maybe a half, if that much. Sometimes they only play a quarter. And so in week one, that's their first real time of getting back to real NFL action. I said, do you think that they would benefit from playing more? He says, it's 50-50, Sarge. Because on one hand, they would benefit from playing more because of the conditioning aspect, getting your body used to, contact like that, getting your body used to contact like that, and just getting back into the flow of playing the game. He says, so yes, they would benefit from playing more in the preseason. He said, but the problem is you risk them getting injured and losing them for regular season games. And so most coaches would rather err on the side of caution and let them figure it out or work it out in the first game than they would in the preseason. And if you go back and you look, that you've seen so much, there was a lot of sloppy play, not even just with the Houston Texans, but there was a lot of sloppy play across the NFL. I can't name you. Let me go look. Y'all give me a second. Let me see. I'm trying to name you one good game that I seen or that I even seen highlights from this past weekend. I can't. And I expect it to be more the same moving forward. Uh, Queena, what's going on? I think CJ can improve on holding his teammates accountable more, not chastising them, but more interaction between possessions to make adjustments or whatnot. Demond, what's going on? Forrest, Peeps' expectations were too high coming in part of that group. We wanted fireworks from the offense, but focused on the negative. What's up, Forrest? Appreciate that. Peyton Manning dug into each of his O-line men on many occasions, but don't see CJ doing it. Only thing I can say is they pan to CJ on the sideline alone, looking down in the dumps. I don't remember that. It seems CJ is too emotional. His emotions on the sidelines come off as negative. Hey, Forrest, if you're still here, expound on that for me, please. What you got, Larry? As much as I hate losing and voice my opinion about it every game, that Rams game did not discourage me. It actually left me believing they are in the process of figuring this shit out on the offense side of the ball. And that's what I'm saying. There are no excuses that there's no excuse that CJ is going to make. There's no excuses that any of those players are going to make. There's no excuses that the head coach is going to make. Just like when I asked Nico Collins on Sunday about the Dare fumble, and he said this game didn't come down to just one play. This game didn't come down to just Dare fumbling. We had our opportunities and our chances, and we didn't score. We had our opportunities and chances, and we didn't execute. So we don't blame one player. We don't blame one player. We don't blame one play. We had our opportunities and our chances. And so I say that to say that they're not making any excuses. But what I am waiting to see, and it may not be until later on this season, right? It may not be till later on this season. But I just want to see them play with a full complement of players. I just want to see what the Houston Texans are going to be when they're healthy. Like, let me see what they look like when they're healthy. I've seen what they've looked like unhealthy. Let me see what they look like healthy, and then I will be able to have a better assessment. Because like I can assess them, I can only assess what's on the field. And if you're on the field, you're going to be assessed. So, and hey, just like they say, injuries happen all the time, right? Injuries happen all the time, B. So I can only go by what I see. And if they're going to stick with this next man up mentality, then you should have those players ready to play. And if they're not ready to play, then you leave yourself open to criticism. Hey, that's just what it is. I'm sorry. That's just what it is. I'm going to tell you right now. I've said this before and I've said it. I'll say it again. Nick Caserio, watch. He knows what that offensive line needs to be. And I don't think that he done an adequate job of building it in the offseason. I just don't. I don't think bringing in older players who weren't effective on their former teams, I just don't believe it. I don't. I need to see more. And maybe things can change for those new offensive linemen. Maybe things can change now that they're here. Well, Jake Andrews is going to be out for a while, but maybe those things can change. But I didn't like the offseason acquisitions for if you're trying to protect your franchise quarterback going into his third year. I did not. But they got to figure it out. Yes, Queena. Yes. I can't wait to talk to him about that too. Yep. Exactly. Yep. Exactly. Man, that last drive when Dare lost the ball, the offense was looking pretty decent. Kind of like things were coming together for it. Yep. Oh man. Oh my God. Facts. Hey, but I will say this though. I didn't look at them going up against the I didn't look at them just because they were playing the Miami Dolphins on what they did. I was just looking at the play concepts. I'm just watching not the results. I'm just looking at the play concepts. And there was some really good play concepts. And they leaned a lot to what Daniel Jones is strong at. Reverend, this because I got a lot of respect for you. He says, by the way, forgive my ignorance. Why aren't you on Locked On Texans anymore? It's pretty boring without you. I can't speak to what the show is because I'm not I don't watch the show. I don't watch a lot of shows though, so I can't comment on a lot of things. But just to answer your question, creative differences. There were creative differences, and so, like I said, I can't speak to the nature of if the show is boring, exciting, exhilarating, disappointing. I don't know because I don't watch it, but I don't have time to watch a lot of stuff. A lot of stuff that I watch or listen to is in between me doing my own thing because I have my own brand. I got a brand new brand new job with the Texans Roundtable that y'all need to join in that community. But that's another story for another time. Let me get to some more. Let me get down here. Hey, Sean, why are you always late though? Like, let's talk about that. Why are you always late? And that is the sentiment of a lot of Texans fans. But why are you late, man? I'm gonna need to start. Look, I'm gonna start telling you the show starts at 4 when it really starts at 6, so we can get you to the show by 6. Yes, David, I believe that as well. Miles in that cognac. Let me ask you this, Sarge. Why did they change the entire lineup because one guy got injured? Let me stop the question. Let me stop right there and answer that question. I don't know. That's the same thing that I wanted to know as well, and that I am going to find out when we speak on Friday. I think we speak to the coordinators on Friday. So that's one of the questions I'm going to ask Nick Caley. Why did you all rearrange instead of just replacing? I'm going to ask him that. So I don't know. And I've said previously, and I'm about to put out a clip from the show on Monday. I think they panicked. I think that the Texans panicked. I wrote an article about it too. I just think they panicked. Why didn't they just keep the lineup the way it was, insert right guard, and put a running back next to CJ to protect? That is, listen, common sense ain't all that common, Miles, and that cognac. I don't know. I just like saying that. What's up, Angel? Eric Lacey. 3 years. They're going into year 3 though. This is the 3rd year. So it's a lot of factors and parameters. And if you come back for the happy hour, we'll talk about it. Penalties are a single step effort undisciplined team, right? Let me see. What else we got? What else we got here? Offensive line changes were good. Coaching has to change. Stop playing small and take big shots down the field every quarter. David, let me say this. I do agree with that. I don't believe that there was enough shots taken. Down the field. I'm glad you said that too, David. Y'all, let me show y'all something. Let me show y'all something. Because I told you all that the interception that was made by Kobe Durant wasn't on CJ, and it wasn't on CJ, and it wasn't on Jaden Higgins. It was just a great play made. And y'all, I'm not squinting because I need my glasses. I'm trying to actually, this screen is super duper small, and I'm trying to see something. Here we go. Before I get up off of here, I want you all to pay attention because there's a lot of criticism towards CJ for throwing this ball. There's a lot of criticism towards Jaden Higgins for not hanging on to it. And I want you all to take a look. Just look. Just look. CJ made the right throw. He high pointed the ball to a big wide receiver with a big catch radius, right? Jaden Higgins made a great catch. But the one thing that I want you all to notice is how high is he off the ground? So he's off the ground. He knows that he has to protect himself coming down, but that's neither here nor there. We won't even talk about the finish play. Look at what Kobe Durant is doing. Do you see where his right hand is? He knows that there's no way for Higgins to protect the ball but to bring it back towards his body. Look at where his hands is. He knows that one or two things is going to happen. Either he's going to keep the ball right there, and when he hits the ground, it's going to pop out, or he's going to bring that ball towards his body to protect the ball. So look where Kobe Durant puts his hand. He's looking to make a play. He's looking to either knock the ball out of his hands or take the ball away like he did. But please stop this narrative of CJ made a bad pass and Jaden Higgins needs to be better or whatever the case may be. Even if he catches this, ain't no telling what's going to happen once he hits the ground. But let's not take away from Kobe Durant making one hell of a play. let's not criticize CJ or Jaden aside, because now you're not giving. This is a great football play. I'm a football fan, y'all. I'm just telling you, like the TI is. That's a great play. That is a great play. All right. Sean said he worked the graveyard shift. I got you. Hey, I don't work I work the graveyard shift too, kinda, but my sleep schedule is always it's just off. It's just off. Hey Eric, I'm glad you said that. Let me ask you a question. You said CJ and DeMeco say the same thing every week. One, they don't. Two, come back to the happy hour. This ain't the time or the place. Come back for the happy hour. We'll talk about it then. We'll talk about it then. I just want to put that out there because come back so I can expose you for who I think you are. But we'll do it. I'm not going to do it. It's too early in the morning. It's too early in the morning. I'll do it in the happy hour when we have some drinks in us. Come back. I'm going to expose you for the person I think you actually are, who's hiding behind a burner account. I don't understand that either, Miles, and that cognac, because Nick Chubb had 60 yards on 13 carries, and he had 2 runs for over 10 plus yards. And I think that Kyron Lacy had, and that's the running back for the Rams, had 18 carries for 66 yards, and I don't think he had a run over 10 plus yards. I don't understand that either. I don't. That's another question I'm going to ask. That's another question I'm going to ask. Eric Cough. Oh, see you, Boble. You are hilarious. There's no practice today. There's no practice, no media availability. They're on a Monday night schedule because they play Monday. So they were off Monday. They were off today. They practice Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and then they're off Sunday, and then they play Monday. Did you hear what CJ said about that too? When he said it's not fair to Nick Caley when we're always in second and long, third and long? Yes, you are right. DQ, what's going on? Here's one thing that bothered me and left me perplexed. Why was Watson on the field? I thought it was Kevin Walters' ghost at first. That needs to simply stop. You know what? I don't have a problem. I don't have a problem with Watson being on the field in certain plays because, you know, if you got a healthy Berrios and you got a healthy Christian Kirk, he's not on the field. He's not. And if we're keeping it a buck, I mean, because you also got to give him an opportunity. He did, you know, he has played with the Kansas City Chiefs, and you know he's learned under Andy Reid and has been around Patrick Mahomes. So, you know, you got to see what you got in him. You got to. My biggest issue was having Dare Ogunbowale on the play that he fumbled at wideout. I don't care about the results. I don't care that he fumbled because that could have been Jaden Higgins over there and he could have fumbled. That could have been Xavier Hutchinson over there and he fumbled. But why do you have your running back at wideout? Don't care that you think that Dare Ogunbowale is a Swiss Army knife. Cool. He can do everything. He can kick. He can play special teams. He can play running back. He can put him at tight end. Like, he can do everything. He can do everything. You do not, in a crucial situation, have him playing at the wide out position. Now, if you bring him out of the backfield in motion and put him out there, but you automatically lined him up at the wide out position. And it was unfortunate that he fumbled the ball. It was just a better play made by the linebacker for the Rams. But I didn't like the alignment from the beginning. When I seen it, I say, what's going on here? Is Jaden Higgins not available? You drafted him for a reason. Put him on the field. Let him see what he can do. Live to fight another day. You had the time. The previous play that Dare caught the ball and went 16 yards and got out of bounds, you have the time. Why not substitute? So, how do you feel about CJ just staring at the edge rusher instead of stepping up in the pocket? Expound on that. Damn, Kobe there, my old lady would have had some explaining with that. I think it's Kobe, like Cobie. Hey, have your alerts on. Be back here for the happy hour. Can't win every year. Hold on. Y'all give me a second. Can't what? Can't do what every year? So, hey, I don't know. Maybe you just messed up, or maybe your Google Translator is messing up. I don't know, because that win is definitely not equated to the outcome of any competitive action. But for entertainment purposes, I will entertain what you're saying. You're a Steelers fan, right? Can't win every year, but I'm proud my coach don't say the same thing every year. Bruh, Mike Tomlin is the black version of Jeff Fisher. And you know what Jeff Fisher used to be called when it was 17 weeks in the season? They used to call him Mr. 8-8. Hold on. Don't worry. I got time. Hold on. Give me a second. Here we go. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Okay. So, in the last 13 years, Mike Tomlin, and it started from 2012, because the last so starting since 2012, they went 8-8, 8-8, 11-5, that's good, 10-6, that's good, 11-5, that's good, 13-3. And then for 5 straight years, he went 9-6, 8-8, 12-4, 9-7, 9-8. 2023, he won 10 games. 2024, he won 10 games. Right? Now, those 10 games may have been good if you are, let's just say, a second year head coach. I mean, you only been a head coach for 2 years in the league, like DeMeco Ryans has. But Mike Tomlin has been coaching 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. This is his 19th season. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Your coach does say the same thing every year. We just got to be better next year. He says it with conviction. He definitely says it with conviction. But he also said, hey, we just got to be better next year. We're going to come out. We're going to do this, that, and the other. And if you are riding high off of the win on Sunday against the Jets, the Pittsburgh Steelers may be the worst team in their division, and that includes the Cleveland Browns. No possible way you think the Steelers are better than the Ravens. You think the Steelers are better than the Bengals. The last two seasons, which is the only two seasons that DeMeco Ryans has under his belt as a head coach, he has the same record as a coach that's been coaching 19 years. Well, going on his 19th season. Last year they finished 10-7. So did the Texans. The year before that, they finished 10-7. So did the Texans. Hold on, let me look at something. 2023, the Houston Texans won the wild card game and played in the divisional round against the Baltimore Ravens. 2024, the Houston Texans won the division, won their wild card game. Well, they won a wild card. Well, they won a division in 2023, won a wild card game. I still got it wrong. Won the AFC South in 2023, won a wild card game, lost in the divisional round to the Baltimore Ravens. 2024, they won the AFC South again, won a wild card game again, lost in the divisional round against the Kansas City Chiefs. So you're talking about your coach doesn't say the same thing. So you're comparing DeMeco Ryans and Mike Tomlin. You can only compare the 2 years that DeMeco Ryans has been in the league. He's finished with the same record as Mike Tomlin. But his season didn't end like Mike Tomlin's. Because in 2023, when the Houston Texans were playing in the divisional round against the Baltimore Ravens, Mike Tomlin and the rest of the Steelers fans was at home watching the game because they lost in the wild card. 2024, when the Houston Texans were playing against the Kansas City Chiefs, Mike Tomlin and the Pittsburgh Steelers were at home watching because they lost in the wild card. So if you want to talk about your coach and you're comparing him to DeMeco Ryans, tell me how Mike Tomlin has been a better coach in these last 2 seasons than DeMeco. See, Eric, like, I don't know what platform you used to going to. I don't know what shows you're used to going on. I don't know if you're just used to being in one of those Pittsburgh Steelers circle jerks. I don't know. But, hey, this is Texas Tailgate Talk. I'm Big Sarge. Nice to meet you. All right. Get him, Tay. And he did correct it said by Tomlin. Exactly. Is Kirkenberry's practicing looking good? So DeMeco said that they're progressing and he'll have an update for us later on this week. I seen both of them yesterday too, as a matter of fact. Tomlin is praised for never missing the playoff. Then he gets there. You said no profanity. Oh my god. uh, if the Texans would have went on to score, would there have been time on the clock for the Rams to work? The Rams still had 3 timeouts, right? I think the Rams still had 3 timeouts. And if I'm not mistaken, the fumble came with what, a minute and 57 on the clock. It was actually, hold on, Lamont. I'm gonna answer that for you. Give me a second. Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. Yes. Dare fumbled after the 2-minute warning. Hold on, I'm gonna tell you. Let me see how much time was left on the clock. Yeah, I was right. It's a minute and 57 seconds. So he fumbled. So I don't know because it was 1st and 10. So if he gets that, because he got 7. Hold on. Let me take that back. It's this play. It's a minute 51. So it was a minute 57 on the previous play, but it was a minute 51 left in the game because remember, Dare got out of bounds. And so they were on the 25-yard line, 1st and 10. And so I don't know how much time they would have been able to take off. And the Rams would have still had time. You know what? I'm glad I'm here, y'all. I wish we could do this. I'd be super busy, y'all, but I wish we could do this. I want to show y'all something. Let me show y'all something. Hold on, let me get back here for a second. So Lamont, yeah, they would have still had time on the clock. See ya, Bobley. What'd you say? Can't win. Exactly. What's up, Mr. Smith? Hey man, it's gonna be a good game. I like the Bucks. I like the Bucks. I do. I like the Bucks. I like Mike Evans, man. Right. I'm gonna have to go back and look at that, Madison. Eric, they are paying CJ. Exactly, Larry. You barely beat the Jets. What are you talking about? Y'all barely beat the Jets. It's because the guy fumbled and he got cut today, but y'all got Aaron Rodgers. How old is Aaron Rodgers? 70? And you better hope you don't come to the game high. I'm just saying. Hey, it's something I want to show y'all though. This is why I tell y'all, man, Sean McVay is one of these, not one, is the smartest coach in the NFL. My God. This play right here was amazing. Like I said, I ain't finna do all that breakdown. I'm gonna let them have it for now. I may do some later on. Y'all, this play is phenomenal. Y'all remember what I said on the happy hour on Monday? That Sean McVay and Matthew Stafford out schemed DeMeco Ryans and Matt Burke because they kept getting Puka Nacua matched up on players that couldn't cover him like Jalen Petrie and CJ Gardner Johnson. Y'all watch this play. Watch this play, y'all. Look at how they're set, right? And this is with the Texans trying to stop them to get the ball back. I think they still had one timeout left after this. Watch this play. This is a beautiful effing play. This is a play I would use if I still played Madden. See how they put Puka Nacua in motion? Watch what happens when the ball is snapped. Look at where he stops. Look how much room there is left because they know that they're about to run this. They know that they're about to get him right here. Look at how much separation it is between the guard and the tackle. This is a beautiful play. Watch. And they snap the ball. Here we go. Say, no, okay. So I guess they're in man. That means that he's holding the slot. Look at, they hike the ball as soon as he sits right here. Play action. Play action. Petrie bites on the play action. But then watch how this play develops. And now he's open. Came right here and started him. This ain't where you normally start a damn wide receiver in a play. But look. And then he gets out. Is that one? This right here lets you know it's over. This right here is over. It's over right here. It's hard enough guarding Puka Nacua when you off of him. Now look. Play action. Great play call. Play action. Gets out into the flats. The pressure is coming. The pressure is coming. But look at what Matthew Stafford does. Gets the ball out of his hands quick enough. Puka Nacua stays in bounds. Bam. See if we can see this. Watch this, y'all. This is from a different angle. See the separation I was talking about right here? They know what's coming. I'm talking about the offense. Man, oh, exactly what we want. We want Petrie lined up on Puka. Play action. Kalen Bullock comes down, takes the tight end. Stingley is up top, holding Devontae Adams. But by that time, they've already gotten him where they need him to be. And look, see how quickly Matthew Stafford's getting his ball out of his hands? Because he's rolling out, but he's rolling right into Hunter, who would have sacked him if he'd have held on to that ball any longer. So if Petrie could have held up in coverage just a little bit longer, either he gets him or Mario Edwards is going to get him. Let's look at it from another. And this is the thing that they done. Matthew Stafford got the ball out of his hands quickly. And with this down and distance, sheesh. This is, and look, I'm not gonna say, look, this is a hard cover for Petrie. This is a hard cover for anybody holding Puka Nacua. This is a hard cover for, and put it like this, even if that had been Derek Stingley right there, even if that would have been Kamari Lassiter, this is still a tough cover. That close to the line. What was the down and distance? Let me see something. It was 3rd and 8. Wait a minute. 3rd and 8? It's third and 8. I think I remember telling myself this too. I think I remember saying, if it's 3rd and 8, We'll talk about that during the happy hour. We'll talk about that during the happy hour. I respect Eric. I respect your right to be wrong. Bo Diggity 713. Larry says this play defensive should have been stopped. Bullock should have taken Devontae and Stingley should have come up on Puka once. He broke past Petrie. Yeah, but Larry, he was still on Devontae though. Like you just don't give up Devontae because let me see. Let me go back and look at something real quick, Larry. Let me go back and look at something real quick. Look like they're in zone man and they ran away. Yeah, I don't know about that one, Larry. It's something we have to talk about and look at a little bit later. Okay, so I see this is what you were saying too, Larry. That was a mistake by Ryans. He should have sent Petrie on a blitz, have Stingley pass off his man to Bullock, and Stingley picks up Nakua. Okay, Larry. Okay, now I get it, Larry. Okay, both of y'all are right. I like that thinking. And we're playing Monday morning quarterback, so I get it. But I like that line of thinking. Yeah. No. I mean, they did it last year with the Jets. Larry, I am. I gotta get I listen. Let me tell y'all something. Larry, I'm glad you said that. Let me see if I can find this. Let me see if I can find let me see if this thing works.
Hello. Please state your name after the tone, and Google Voice will try to connect you.
Sarge. Try Larry. I got a number. Let me see if I do this. Hold on, Larry. Give me a second. Let me do this. Yep. It says. Let's try it again, Larry.
Please enter your password followed by the pound key. To leave a message for this subscriber, press the pound key.
No.
To sign in as another subscriber, press the star key.
What are we doing
If you
here?
have forgotten your password, press the pound key twice.
Y'all give me a second.
Are you still there?
Yeah.
Please enter your password followed by...
Okay, let me try again, Larry.
Your password followed by the pound key.
Oh,
To
okay.
leave a message...
All right, Larry. Hold on. Let me see something. Y'all give me a second. I'm gonna put this up. Y'all tell me if tell me if you could do it. Larry, we're about to see right now. Cause I don't know if I got the phone hooked up to I got a Google number though. Hold on, let me give y'all this number. This is gonna be the call-in line. Hold on for a second. Somebody let me know. Y'all heard that? Man, who said that? No, man. No, Larry. Nah. No, I'm about to put this number out. I want to see if it works. Hold on. Here we go. Let me see if it works. Let me see if it works. All right. Here we go. 281-330-8004. Hold on. Let me see this again.
Emotional damage.
I heard that. Did y'all hear that? Should have heard that. All right, let's test this theory out. Somebody help me out here. Somebody help me out. That's the number. Call that number. Dial that number. Let's see what we got. Let's see if it works. 281-330-8004. Call that number. Let's see if it works. If it works, you already know it's about to go down. I've been meaning to do this too. Let's go. I'm waiting. 281-940-4416. Call in. Let Sarge know what you got to say. This is going to be interesting.
Larry and Stafford.
Hello. Hold on, Larry. Let me see if I can get this thing working. Rodecaster Pro. Larry, can you hear me? Hold on, Larry. Hold on.
Call from
Larry and Stafford.
Hold on, Larry. I heard it. Do it again. Do it one more time, Larry. Did y'all hear it? Larry, try it one more time. Boy, if this thing works. Uh-oh. If this thing works, I feel like I'm in trouble. But I do have an option for a call-in line. And if it doesn't, I'm gonna work on it today to get it right.
Larry and Stafford.
Larry, can you hear me? Well, hold on. I think you're coming in through that phone. Larry, can you hear me? Let me see. Hello?
Call from.
Sean Supertech.
To accept, press 1. To send a voicemail, press 2.
Okay, that was Sean. Sean, can you hear me?
I can hear you, Sarge.
Okay. Larry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but hold on for 1 second. Hey, can y'all hear Sean Supertech? Let me know. Sean, what's
Can you
going
hear
on?
me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me? Sean,
I can hear you, big dog.
what's going on, man?
Man, I had to call you since you gave us the opportunity, man. I'm always talking so much crap on here, so I wanted to give this channel a try myself, man. I hope we get a chance to call in more during the season. Probably talk to you about some Rockets talk too, but I know we in Texas mode right now.
For sure. And yeah, man. So I've been meaning to give this number out. I've had it for a while. I've just been, look, lollygagging.
Yeah, not on top of. Yep.
I've been lollygagging, and so Sean, you the first caller into the Texas tailgate talk. I know that you probably feel more suited calling in during the happy hour, but since you are here, you got anything else you want to say?
Watch your mouth.
I said, Sean,
I ain't had my yak yet. It's early, man. I know. I try to keep that off till after 2.
Already, man. I already know, man. But look, I definitely appreciate it, and make sure you save this number under Texans Tailgate Talk, Big Sarge, because starting, you know what, in the happy hour, I'm gonna open up the phone lines and allow people to call in. But man, I appreciate it. My first call, I appreciate that. Hey, look, and
Yeah, man,
you was on
full
time.
support, especially since you start dogging me out since I'll be on late, shit, dog. I'll be, man, my sleep is crazy, man. Sometimes I sleep 2 hours awake and I don't realize what time it is. So, and then I got to get on the field. I got to officiate these children. So I'll be running, but I'm on top of it, Sarge. I'm watching you, dog.
All right, man. Appreciate
Keep doing what you're doing, man. There's a lot of support to you, man. Don't worry about these haters and all these other ones. We won't mention no names. So, and tell AB you get some blue chews. I'm surprised he ain't call on here. Where he at?
All right, man. Look, I appreciate that, brother.
All right, big dog.
All right, see you in the happy hour.
All right, for sure.
All right, later.
All right.
Oh, hey, oh. Sarge, what you done? Hold on. Here we go. Hey, man, thanks for calling in. Larry, so this is what has to happen, right? Larry, and it's because I have your number saved. So because I have your number saved, Larry, you got to call in, let Google pick up.
Unknown caller.
And then we'll go from there. Let me see. Hello? Hold on for a second.
1. To send a voicemail, press 2.
You're on the line with Big Sarge. Who am I speaking with? Welcome to the Texans Tailgate Talk Show. Hello.
I'm good with you, Sarge.
What's going on? Who am I speaking with?
It's your boy Tay. You already know what it is, man.
Tay, what's going down? Hey, Tay, can I say something real quick before you say what you got to say?
Tell me what you got, son. What you got for me?
Tay, I appreciate the way you always step in and take control of this of the chat, man. Tell people calm their asses down. Hold on, let Sarge finish saying what he got to say, and then when we get these trolls in here, hey, what was that old man name that came up in here that time? Theodotus. What was his name? Milton. What is it? Milton or something?
Goddamn Thessalonian, whatever his name was.
Hey, you calmed him right down. But I always appreciate that, man. I always appreciate the support that you give too. So now that you're here, you got anything you want to chime in on this Texas Tailgate Talk?
Hey, man, I just want to say I appreciate the candidness that you bring to not only the Texans but the Rockets and all that good stuff. You're not showing your bias. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I'm like I said, I'm not on social media and all of that. I don't do that because it's just a bunch of messiness, and I ain't got the energy for that.
For sure.
But I appreciate you and what you have been doing for folks like me. And then when you do take your sabbaticals and your time off,
yeah,
you are in my prayers.
I appreciate
pray a lot.
Yeah.
I'll pray a lot, and I don't know if it reached past the ceiling, but you are in my prayers during that time frame.
I appreciate that. Now look, Tay. Now you know that since I see that this feature does work. Now what the hell you think's about to happen on that Buzzed and Petty podcast?
Hey! Once Marcus get a hold of it, I don't know where he did that, but once he get a hold of it,
look, I know
AD.
I ain't seen Marcus. I have not seen Marcus in a minute. But look, real quickly. Hey, Larry, hold on. I'm gonna get to you in just a second. Hold on, Larry. But what I will say is this, Tay. What I will say is this. One of the things that I'm gonna talk about on that Buzz and Petty podcast is about being a step parent and how, as a step parent, if you don't know the other parent, if you've only dealt with one parent, how you really only know 50% of the child, because if you don't, if you don't know the medical, physical, all that other history of the other side of the family, I'm only getting what I know from the person that I'm with. So when I'm dealing with these kids, I'm dealing with half a child, and I'm learning in real time. And a lot of spouses don't understand that. A lot of spouses don't understand that, hey, the situation that I'm in, if this is my child, then I know you and I know me, and I got 100% of the child. But if you're bringing children into this equation, and vice versa, when I bring my daughter into a situation, or with my wife now, when I bring my kids from my late wife in, and I'm still only bringing 50% because I only know 50%. But you understand what I'm saying, though, right? Yeah. All right.
No, I get what you're saying, but even with the whole situation of if it's your child with your spouse, like, hell, I've been with my wife going on 12 years now, and we got 3 boys together. Sometimes when they be putting her through the goddamn ringer, and I sit there and I'm like, yeah, that's me. That's always me.
For sure.
And then sometimes they be doing stuff and it's like, I don't know who the hell you got this from.
Exactly.
But at the same time, it's like that could be a part of me that I didn't know was there as a child, or that could be my significant other.
For sure.
So it's different things throughout that situation, I guess I'm trying to say. But I get what you're saying, though.
Yeah.
Hey, and you never know what time you're going to be on, Sarge. You got to be consistent. Hey,
I already know, man. I'm going to do it. Hey, and
Queen
told us
what
name.
time you be on, and I'll be here.
Hey, that old Negro's name was Melvin. I remember.
Monkey Mouth Melvin. I bring that old ass bastard back here.
Man, hey, Tay, I appreciate you calling in, brother.
Yes, sir.
All right, man. Talk to you later. All right, let me see if I can do this, y'all, because let me see. I may be able to do it this way. Hold on.
This White.
Larry, can you hear me?
Yeah, I got you, Sarge.
Man, what's going on? Hey, look, you and I, we have to talk offline about how this Google phone system works, and we're gonna get this thing together, man. But what I wanted to say was Larry and Stafford. Yeah. Hey, look, I'm gonna be honest with you. Hey, y'all, calm down for 1 second. Give me my time. Hey, it is y'all don't know. You ain't certified, and you're not certified in Houston sports talk until Larry and Stafford calls your show. If Larry and Stafford don't call your show, that means he don't F with you. Larry, I'm sorry. I done used all my profanity early on in the show, man. I done ran out of my limit for cuss words for the day. I apologize. Next time, I might be able to say it. But if Larry doesn't call you, if Larry doesn't interact on your show ain't worth crap. So this is an honor and a pleasure for me to have you on the Texans Tailgate Talk Show, Larry. I appreciate it, man. What you got?
Hey, Sarge, man, look, we could give you all your flowers now, man, and just how you go about on your grind to do this thing, man. And I just wanted to just chime in on a couple of things, man, because some of the foolishness that's out there in this Twitter sphere and all this other stuff, man, just has me scratching my head on them boys on Kirby, man. Because look, we saw the game. The game was a 14-9 game. I mean, they did a lot of things in that game that they really need to clean up. But they had a chance to win the game at the end, which is the way DeMeco Ryans plays football.
Yep.
If they don't fumble that football, they running that whole clock out.
Yeah.
And then we're flying back to Houston and we have a win. But here's the thing. This is the only real true issues that I have with it. I never thought they should have shuffled that offensive line, moving Erstry from left tackle. They should have left them tackles there, and then they should have just filled in either Patterson or Juice at right guard. But obviously they don't have the kind of confidence in those dudes to be able to do that.
Yep.
And the only other thing that I was saying that I texted into the chat was, if you look at that play that you showed, Petrie, soon as Nakua came in motion, Petrie came with him, so that identifies that they in man.
Yep.
Soon as Puka breaks out of that from between that left tackle and that left guard, and Petrie bumps him, you know at that point that's who they're going to. Because if Stingley comes up and take Puka and Bullock doesn't fade off of Devontae, if they go deep, it doesn't even matter at that point because they're just trying to pick up that first down to bleed that clock. That was my only point. And I think Black and Miles or Miles and somebody
Miles
said
and
the same
that
thing.
cognac.
Yes, sir. See, he my kind of dude because, see, when you watch them kind of plays, man, them are winning plays. But look, we gonna be fine, man. We can't be flipping. You know, I'll be going off, but we can't be flipping the script after one game. But Sarge, I ain't gonna hold you up, man. I just wanted to get in and let you know. Now you finna experience some real stuff, man, with this phone line, dog, because these boys gonna be acting bad in our holler.
Thank you, Larry, for calling in. And Larry, I understand what you're saying now. I get it. I understand exactly. I understand exactly what you're saying. Hold on for a second, y'all. I understand exactly what you're saying about that play. And when Miles and Cognac added to what you were saying, I got it. And you're right. Because if you go back and you look at that play, you look at that play, you will see that just like what you said, if Petrie gives Nakua off to if Petrie gives Nakua off to Stingley, and like I said, I know we're playing Monday morning quarterback right now. We're playing Monday morning quarterback. Queena, let me ask you a question. Was that you that called me from the 409 number? Because if so, I'm gonna call you back. But you're right. When, like I said, hindsight is 2020, of course. But if he gives him off to Stingley, and Bullock stays up top and takes Devontae, and Petrie stays in and takes the tight end, then you're right. Especially at 3rd and 8, that should have been something that we should have been able to see a little bit more of. So, wow, y'all, hold on. There we go. Wow, we got a call-in option. Hold on. Well, Queenie, you stay right there. Hold on, I can call you.
What's up, big Sarge?
Welcome to the Texas Tailgate Talk Show, Queena. Hey, listen, now look, I can't give Larry his flowers, and I give you yours again. And I gave Tay his, I gave Sean his. I appreciate you. You know, look, y'all my A1 since day one. You know what I'm saying? I've got to. Hey, listen, for those of you all who don't know, Queena is the one that brought me back because I had fell into a sunken place and I had stopped doing shows. I had stopped doing live shows. I had stopped doing podcasts. I had stopped writing. I had just fell into a place of, listen, let me tell you something. I started feeling sorry for myself. And so with that being said, Queena hit me up on IG and said, hey, Sarge, hey, when you coming back? We really miss you. And that meant a lot to me. And I know I've said this before, but now that I get a chance to actually talk to you, I'm going to say I appreciate that. And thank you for bringing me back because I wasn't in a sunken place like that dude was. What's that movie where you tap the cup? Get out. I wasn't that far gone, but I was gone. So Queen, I appreciate that.
Hey, thank you, Sarge. You know, I don't mess with nobody but you. I don't comment on nobody. I don't mess with nobody but you. So you my guy.
I appreciate that. Now, I did see you say on Monday that if you drive all the way from Beaumont to Houston, Texas on Monday, and they lose this game, it's gonna be look, they too young to remember this, Queen. You may be too young to remember this, but it's gonna be some smoke in the city.
In the goddamn
city. It's gonna be some smoke in the city.
Yes, Sarge. It's gonna be some smoke in the city. I told my husband the same thing. I was like, man, I ain't trying to be tired at work on Tuesday for a loss.
Right. I definitely
So,
understand it. And I can't listen. Y'all let me know where y'all going to be when y'all get to the game, because I'm going to make it a point for me to get to exactly where you all are. Queen, why I got you here though? What were some of your thoughts from the game on Sunday?
to be honest with you, Sarge, I really thought it was a close game up until the end. I feel like that they played sloppily and they got to clean it up. Like, I feel like that you can't be out there looking like a college team when you're an NFL team.
Yeah.
And we talking about they supposed to be one of the top teams in the AFC. So I just expect them to play like it. And I really think that is, at least for me, as a fan expectation, I want to see the Houston Texans look like a top AFC team. And so that's why I said what I took from CJ was like, we can't get out there slow starting and then being overconfident that we're going to be able to come and clean it up.
Yeah.
Y'all only got 60 minutes.
Yeah.
So you need to come out and play all 60 minutes, not 45 minutes.
Yeah, exactly. No, I agree with you. And I think that that's what CJ was saying. I think that that's what DeMeco was saying about playing with that sense of urgency. And like somebody put in the chat, I don't remember who it was, but that I wish CJ wouldn't have never used the word lollygagging, because there's a lot of people that's just taking that and run with it. And so I wish he would have just said, you got to come out with a sense of urgency. We got to play faster, whatever the case may be. But you're right. And I'm glad that they took accountability for that.
Yep. Agreed. I wonder how much trouble CJ got in with the bosses for saying lollygagging, because that's a firestorm.
Hey, look, Cal is old, so he probably knows exactly what the word. He probably uses lollygagging on a consistent basis. So, so he probably didn't get in any trouble, about that. And if anything, Nick probably said, "Hey, CJ, I looked up the word lollygag, and I have some more synonyms that can be used, and I also found some better choice of words that can be used out of the thesaurus." So yeah,
absolutely.
Well, Queen, I appreciate it, and I look forward to seeing you on Monday in person. And I hope that you have an opportunity to come back here. Voicemail. I hope that you have an opportunity to come back for the Texans happy hour, because we're gonna have us.
I sure am. So I stepped out of a whole meeting when I saw you came on. I was like, hold on, what's online?
I appreciate that. Thank you for the support. I definitely, I got to get y'all some water bottles too. So don't. I got something else for you. I got something else for you and your husband.
All right.
All right. Thanks for calling.
Bye.
Ooh-wee. What else we got? Hold on. Where this call came from? That may not have been a call that I want to answer. Let me see something. Let me see. This may be somebody want to cuss me out.
Big Sarge.
What's going on? You are live on the Texas Tailgate Talk Show. Who am I speaking with?
The Darius Crutcher from Memphis, Tennessee.
Hey, hold on, man. Hold on before we even get past what we're about to talk about. Bro, first of all, Memphis got some of the best rap artists I've ever heard in my life. Like, bro, like Memphis, like they got it. Like I'm talking about, they got it. Cause hey, is Glorilla from Memphis?
Yeah, she from North Memphis.
She from Memphis? Hey, look, I know. Hey, Sexy Red from Memphis.
Nah, she from St. Louis.
Oh, St. Louis. Oh, okay, my bad. Oh, Young Dolph was from Memphis.
Young Dolph, Yo Gotti.
Yeah.
Moneybag Yo.
Moneybag. I was just about to ask Moneybag Yo from there too, right? So, with that being said, though, Darius, let me tell you something. The one reason I love Memphis is because I can't do it because I'm too old now and my body don't work like it used to. But if back in my day, if they'd have had juking, ain't that what it's called?
Yeah.
Boy, let me tell you something. On TikTok, when I watch so many juking videos, I'm saying, yo, what these and for those of you all who are listening right now, juking is a form of dance that's only in Memphis. Memphis created this dance, and if you ever get a chance to look at it, I'm telling you right now, whoo-wee, and then
they're gonna be on point.
They gonna try.
And Darius, I will say this, and my wife is at work, and hopefully she's not listening to this show, and hopefully she doesn't play it back. Man, let me tell you something. I took a trip to Memphis in 2008. That was my first time ever coming to Memphis. This is when, online dating had started to pick up a little bit, but this is before they had the Bumbles and the Tinders and all that other stuff, right? This is when you had to go old school macking through Black Planet. So they don't know about that, man. I came to Memphis and I said, "What are they feeding these women around here? I ain't never seen so many thick Black women in my life." And then I went
like this. It's like this here now.
And then wait a minute. Then I went to another side. I was like, then they got that thick white. But what are they feeding? Look, they done put something in the food here in Memphis because I ain't never been. And the young lady that I was with, she could tell that I had never been around something like that because she was just like, she just started laughing. She's like, "Boy, you just can't control yourself." I said, "I apologize. I don't mean no disrespect, but I ain't never been around this many thick women in my life." And at that time, I was living in Atlanta. So what's going on, though, Darren? You didn't call in to hear about my love for Memphis and my tales from back in the day. This is way back in the day, when I was saved, sanctified, and filled with Crown Royal apple. But that's another story for another time. What's up, Darren?
I know much. I was calling. I've been saying, people talking about how bad we looked and stuff like that. A lot of them ain't played football. Well, I ain't never played football for real.
Facts.
They just looking and it look good on paper.
Facts.
You got to jail with a person. If somebody get hurt, you got to start the whole thing over.
Yeah.
TJ Johnson ain't been out. He been hurt.
Yep.
So it's his first full week of practice. You got to let him get himself together.
Yep.
The offensive line got switched up. They got to get themselves together. You got to jail with each other.
Yeah. Yep.
They don't understand.
No, I definitely agree with you. You know what else I think that has ruined football for a lot of us older people? I think that social media, people thinking that they can break down every play, and Madden. Madden had I had to tell these people on numerous occasions, "Hey man, this is real life football. This ain't Madden. You can't just restart the game. Ain't no such thing as restarting the NFL game." And plus, you got what you would do in a Madden game ain't what these head coaches get paid to do on a consistent basis. So I ain't got no problem with talking football to this, that, and other. But when I start hearing you in GM mode, or when I start seeing you in easy mode, I say to myself, you know what? I'm done. I'm good. You got it. I'm just gonna go ahead and take a step back, and I'm gonna text my granddaughter some funny faces. But I definitely agree with you though, Darius. It's it's just it's a work in progress, and I don't understand why people don't understand that.
Then the Rams, Sean McVay been there for a while.
He's the smartest coach in the NFL.
They locked in. They know what to do.
Yes. And so
that's all I wanted to call it.
Man, well, make sure
put my opinion out there.
Save this number as Texas Tailgate Talk, Big Sarge, man. And anytime that this show is going on, there's going to be a certain time. Now that I know that it works, I'm going to open up this phone line at a certain part of the show. So instead of just talking in the chat, we can talk to each other.
I bet.
All right, appreciate the call.
No problem.
All right.
Unknown caller.
Let's see who this is. Hey, what's going on? You're on the Texas Tailgate Talk Show with Big Sarge. Who am I speaking with? Hello. Guess we're still working out the kinks. All right, y'all. I got to get up out of here. Woo, it's 11:38. I got to get ready to get up out of here, y'all. Let me shut the phone line down. Let the bodies hit the floor. Let the bodies hit the floor. Let the bodies hit the floor. All right. Hey, I got my and now that I got my headphones on, I know. Hey, Darius, I told you that. Let's see, y'all. Hello? Hold on for a second. Wait, I can't hear you. Give me 1 second. Hey, what's going on? You're on the Tex Tailgate Talk Show with Big Sarge. Who am I speaking with? Hello?
Call from.
I guess. All right, y'all. I don't know what's going on with that, but let me do this. Give me a second. All right. Hey, now that I got this back, Darius, I told you I am a big Memphis fan. Hold on.
I just looked at my wrist, I got time today. Get them crossing the line today. The hate be so real, the love be fake. Be bumping they gums and bumping my tape. Don't go against me, they ask for my help. Go get out your feelings and get it yourself. Might got the same shoes, but you ain't gon' step. That that you just put out, you could've kept. Yup, she got a he got a shirt. Why? You can't compete when you can't compare. Here, she ate the through my underwear. Got up and got herself out of there. I see they put me on memes and things. Don't speak on my life without knowing the real. 8 figures a year, what it cost me to live. Don't hold it, just say what you feel. But watch your mouth before I fly at your word. To a place that she didn't know exists. Mediterranean water my wrist. Keeping them pissed how I'm talking my shit. Pick a check for a show, man, I'm lit. Let's celebrate, now my bag legit. With me, with whatever I'm with. Didn't know who did it, got everybody hit. I don't like nobody. We can get gangster, we can keep it cordial. How you want to go back? How you want to do it? I don't backtrack, man. That I don't miss nobody. I don't miss nothing. Left it on scene, I ain't right back. I don't trust nobody. I just looked at my wrist, I got time today. Get them crossing the line today. These will cry and be lying in your face. Slicker than us, gotta know how they play. If the
hey!
Ain't in mind, sure know what to say. You ain't me, so it's hard to relate. What? How much cash I pop every day? Big.
Oh, y'all thought I was lying? Y'all thought I was lying? Yo. Y'all thought I was lying? Hey, look. Hey, Moneybag. Young Dolph, rest in peace. Glorilla. Hey, did I tell y'all I went down the Glorilla rabbit hole last month? And I said to myself, whoa, hold on, Sarge, where you at? I ain't care. I went down the Glorilla rabbit hole and I said, yo, this young lady can rap. She can rap. Did I just hear Black Planet? That's back in them T-Town days. Yes, you did hear that. Hold on for a second. I gotta get this thing together now. They done got me started. Now I got my board back working. I have sounds, y'all. I just haven't been using my board to its full potential. But now that we're gonna have call in, I'm definitely gonna hold on. Here go another one.
Try Jesus, not me. 'Cause I throw hands. Try Jesus, please don't try me. Because I fight. I know what he said about getting slapped. But if you touch me or mine, we gon' have to scrap. So
try Jesus.
Please don't try me.
Because I fight.
I have no problem laying these hands.
Try Jesus. Don't try me.
'Cause I throw hands. Try Jesus.
Please don't try me. Because I fight.
What you said? Turn the other cheek. Oh, but this one part of the Bible that just don't sit around with me. So try Jesus.
Let the church say amen.
Please don't try me.
Let the church say amen again.
'Cause I fight. I have no problem laying these hands.
You've been tuned into the Tex Tailgate Talk Show. I'm your host, Big Sarge. Make sure you follow me on the app formerly known as Twitter at Big Sarge Sports Z at the end. Follow me on the Tick and the Talk at Big Sarge Media. Make sure you subscribe to the Tex Tailgate Talk podcast. All one word, Tex Tailgate Talk podcast and YouTube channel. Follow me on Instagram, Big Sarge was a Z at the end. Because you know we do everything for the gram. Oh man, I've had an amazing time with you all today. Woo-wee. Let me go ahead and get this out the way and say it, because you know I gotta say it. Time is the most important possession that an individual has, and for you all to give me yours means a lot to me. I appreciate it. We now know that our call-in line works. I will be opening up the call-in line on these shows, and now that I do have my board fully operating again, it was always been fully operating. It's just been a user error, but we bike. Big Sarge, I'm out.
Big Sarge.